Alright. Hey you guys, it's Jordan. I just woke up and it's my day off from this new job that I'm working, or day job I guess, so I'm finally not sore enough or taking a bunch of mental dot to make another video. So yeah, I just basically finished up my last project, like this little kind of prop focus thing. So I'm just gonna go through like pretty much how every page ended up being and some things I learned along the way, I guess. I don't know. I usually just shoot from the hip with these. So I'm just gonna start with I'll start with the like my favorite pages and just go from there, man, cuz this shit's going to be I've already spoke about this like at least 3 times. So at this point I'm just talking about the same shit. Okay, so yeah, we have this page here. Let me put my camera a little smaller. Or do I even need a camera in this video, bro? I probably don't need a camera in this video, but I'll keep it. So this one, probably one of my favorite pages, honestly. Out of 10, as much as I like this page, I'd say like, I'd rate this page probably somewhere up around like an 8. An 8, 9. In terms of how much I like it, 10 being, I fucking love it. And then 1 being, I hate it. I'd give this page like an 8, 9. I really like, so like, the idea that I was trying to like play around with towards the end was some kind of like I don't know, I was trying to make it feel like you were looking through an advertisement or something for like a bunch of furnitures from some like really experienced craftsman or something, they'd have model names and all this kind of stuff that you could choose from that him and his team would start to make and assemble the parts for. So yeah, this one was pretty cool. And the crappy part I'd say about this was like the fact that most of the ideas started to come towards the end, so I couldn't really in terms of like what I was trying to do with the presentation, it really just came as a like spur of the moment idea. Like at first I was just like, okay, well I'm just gonna have like some kind of border. Fuck. I was gonna have some kind of border and just keep it, simple, super simple. Because I've seen a lot of presentation for like concept art. Usually it's not anything crazy, But this is just some kind of like extra flavor I like to throw on there just to make it like a little bit more interesting for me to look at. And I kind of tried to play off of the same aesthetic that I gave everything to. Like, so like say for example, like I have a grand model and I see this one looks very similar to another sketch, so I just say like, okay, it's another like offshoot of that same model, like another variant. Think like cars, right? With cars you have like a Toyota. I don't want to fuck this up because some of you guys are car people, but like, okay, a Toyota Highlander. Yeah, a Toyota Highlander, right? You have a Highlander, you have a Camry, and a what's the last one, dude? It starts with a C, dude. You have the Camry, and then there's the bigger version of that same car that's kind of more like I forget what it's called. It's the Camry and the fucking goddamn I'm gonna just look it up, bro. Fuck this shit. Toyota Corolla. It's the Corolla. So you have like the compact one. Actually, let's just look on. Let's see. I'm sure you guys get what I'm saying, but like, I just try to tie like these ideas into just random shit, and it just like I'll just be working on it, and then like I'll just be like, oh, that'd be cool if there were like different models for the same kind of furniture or something, I thought it'd be interesting. But yeah. So like basically, that's what I was doing here. I was like making like all kinds of like, I guess cool sounding names, to mark the different kinds of aesthetics from the sketches. And I didn't want to have just another sketch page. Like I'm trying to figure out whenever I do stuff like this, because I do like to do a lot of sketches. So I'm trying to tie them into the main presentation. So you can see here. Let me put myself back here. So yeah, it just ends up being kind of, if the sketches end up being like similar enough, I'll just try to tie them into the same make, if that makes sense. Um, yeah, which is pretty cool. And then, like I said, another thing that came in at the end was towards the end with the prop was like, oh, what if the thing could flip up? That's why I have the little, you know, I thought this would be really cool. It wouldn't be like a desk that you sit at, but like it's more like a table that you could flip up and kind of just lean into and just look at. It's like a medieval whiteboard. If I had to give it a name for this, like a little thing that you could keep right there. And then with the little sketches on the side. Same thing here. Out of 10, I'd give this one also like a 7.5, 7.6. Um, and I just came up with a fun name like a Garrison scroll cabinet. At this point, I was just having fun, man. It's just like tying the sketches again like into the main page. And at this point, like I didn't really feel like rendering the whole thing again. So I was just like, okay, well I'll just keep it like simple colors, and I feel like that worked pretty well. And then I just took the sketches and did the same, gave them the same treatment. That way, it wasn't like really, fuck, what's the word, man? Um, like like you don't get surprised by seeing a sudden like shift in quality. Like whiplash. I don't know if whiplash is the right word, but yeah. Same thing here, pretty much. And I tried to add some like a little flavor text here. Like I just thought it was kind of fun, because I try to find some way to have fun at every part of the process. Even though this takes me, the presentation for this shit was like, I can actually show you guys actually. Um, Now keep in mind, like I didn't do the best on logging specific things because it's obviously like a personal project or whatever. But this project in total took me about 122 and a half hours. So 122 hours and then 30 minutes pretty much. Which is a lot. On paper, it sounds like it's a lot of time. But like if you I don't know, if you put the time in like yourself, you'll see like how that's pretty much just, chipping it out over a 6 month period. It's not anything crazy in terms of time. I don't think. I think that's a reasonable. I don't think it's a reasonable time. I don't know, man. I don't know, dude. Like I don't know what I'm trying to say here, man. But like like when you say it out loud, 122 hours. It's like holy fuck. But like for reference, like let me see. So I have this page here. Um, Let me see. This project right here took 155 hours with all like, and pretty much all it is designing a cinematic shot. Wait, let me make sure my camera isn't okay. Pretty much all it was a cinematic shot, right? And then designing the buildings. So like one, two. Looking back on this, I probably do this. I say that probably every time. God damn, I'm getting a call from this. I'll just be right back. Give me a second. Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry, guys. I was just trying to schedule an appointment to uh, my dermatologist, cause like I use this medication or whatever that they dude, healthcare. I swear. All right, I'm gonna try not to like fucking hard tilt this video, but dude, it's like it's the craziest shit sometimes. I for those of you, fuck it. All right, whatever. It's a this is a topic for another day type shit. Um, damn, I said type shit, bro. Um, all right, so yeah, so basically, yeah, 155 hours for this, and it took, you know, I was basically just designing a bunch of buildings and then tying them all together, right? And then, of course, there's also the presentation, which is, I mean, on this one, I didn't really prioritize presentation that much. I mean, I guess I did a little bit here to make it like just having fun, you know. But like for the most of the pages, I just kept them pretty simple and straight to the point, you know. But presentation alone on this project right here, I think I took like 10 hours. I'll double check it real quick. I'll drag it over. So I have reports, I think. No, project. Wait, what the projects? So yeah, this is the brainstorm one right here. That's the date I finished it pretty much, or the last date that I worked on it, I believe. And 155 hours. Now, usually an 155 hour project usually takes me a few, like anywhere, usually like 6 months, I would say. Yeah, it usually takes about 6 months. Or like, yeah, because I'd have to see like the specific okay, I don't have like the membership version of this shit. So where's the, if I can look at the, what the hell? Okay, this week. Okay, last year. Oh, what the hell am I looking at? Here it says 151. So, okay. Alright, no, this gives a percentage of the year. I spent 2.7% of the year looking for a job, dude. Holy fuck. Okay, but in total, hey, that's crazy. What the fuck? Dude, in total last year, I spent 514 hours. Like, drawing and shit. And this is probably, I don't think this includes the commission work I did either. Because I had it on a different profile. But 29% of the year. I mean, or 29% of the 500 hours of that year. So I don't know, man. I don't know how to like. Damn, bro. I don't know. I'll figure this out sometime, and like, so that way when I go over this shit with you guys, it's easier for you to kind of follow along with. But basically, what I'm saying is like these things take time, dude. Don't think I'm cranking this out in like 15, hours or some crazy shit. Like, I said this in my last two videos. It's just me trying to practice. It's me essentially like sharpening those skills, because if a commission were to come along where they're like, my biggest fear, honestly, is like getting what the hell? One of my biggest fears really is like getting a commission or something, and they're like, oh, we need you to design some props, and then I'm like, yo, damn, this hat, bro. And then I'm like, oh, I haven't designed a prop in like, 10 decades, and then it's like, oh shit, like I'm basically starting from square one. But like, now that I've recently finished this project, if something like this were to come along, I know where my shortfallings were on this project to be able to like make that commission or contract go through smoother. I think that's what keeps me making these, even though it's kind of a pain in the ass to work on over such a long time. And of course, like with anything, being an artist, you know, you get halfway through something and you just want to start something else, you know, and that's the thing. That's one of the biggest things I fight is like once I start one of these, just keeping at it enough, like seeing it through. My like I just don't want to have a bunch of shit that I started that I never finished, and for that to become like because then I don't get to post anything. I don't get to talk about much of anything, you know. In my opinion, I think that's what I'll keep my sketchbooks for if I really wanted to like start something different, you know. Something that I like took an idea that I took from Ate. I got this book while I was in Singapore, but Ate, he talks about something in this book, his art book, and it's about like how he has a journal full of ideas that, you know, he might not be able to do at that time, but like he keeps them for a rainy day, those art block days, you know, where you don't really have any inspiration and you could just go through that book and see all these cool ideas that you had that and just see which one sticks out to you that you think you'd be able to do at that time. And I think in that book I'm gonna just try to keep smaller projects like just loaded in there. It's a great book. This I will every now and then I look at this book, but it's just crazy. Like, even in this guy's early stages, he was doing kind of like Fang Zhu looking realistic stuff, and now look at his art style. It's like completely, you know, Ate, you know. So yeah, that's I don't know. That's something that I found pretty interesting, and with the recent stuff that I got from Owlcrate, from my last commission, I mean, I might as well use those little books to write that stuff down. That way, when I have those ideas, I can just go to those. But my next thing that I really want to do is just more cinematic shots. I just want to hone in on that. It's really fun figuring it out. And if I run into a hard space, I always have my friends that I can ask for help, and that's gonna just be a great opportunity for growth, I guess. If I'm being honest. So yeah. Here's another one. This one I'd give like a 7 because I didn't really. Hold on, man. I think I got a sneeze. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with me this morning. This one I give like a 7 because I didn't really know how to fill this page. I think I made this one like a little too big or whatever. So I just ended up putting more text in there, and like, you know, I had the little X marks the spot kind of chart X's and lines and stuff to like follow that same theme. If I had to talk about something that I feel like I missed on this project, not so much missed, but like an opportunity I could have taken, is because from the start I had some idea of having like all of this stuff being designed for some kind of writer, right? And I ended up evolving from the writer idea to cartographer. I think that's what it's called. The people who make maps, right? So like, I didn't get to play around with having that in the furniture itself. Like, these are all pretty much generic, you know, furniture pieces, if I'm being honest. But looking back, like, what I would have probably done is like had more things on the outside that clearly say like, okay, this is for like whoever's using this is a mapper. Like they do a lot of mapping and creation for that. And I feel like that would have been a pretty cool touch. Like if, say for example, instead of this being like a simple, oh shit. Instead of this being, sorry guy, I'm so sorry. Instead of this being some kind of, you know, generic like opening door, right? What if the door like opened and then folded in half again? So like it opened and then like opened again to this long little like wall that's basically like a bulletin map, like a bulletin board or something like that you could just unfold. Like stuff like that, things that support the uniqueness or unique needs of that kind of profession, I guess. And then I would have had more external storage for like maps and stuff like that too. I feel like that would have sealed the deal here. Like if I had some kind of like latches on the side that you could put like a scroll right on top, and they were like round shaped, right? Like so like these are all of course ideas that come in hindsight, But that's part of the growth, you know. You're always gonna have those extra ideas once you wrap something up, and sometimes while you're in the middle of making that thing, you're so tired from working on it that you just want to see it finished. You don't really think about what could be added. That's the last thing you want to think about, right? But let me see if I can plug in my. Nope, not that one. Okay, let me see. Bada bing, bada boom. Dude, this tablet has lasted me through FZD. It's fucking crazy. And it still works. Okay, so say like this is the wall, right? If there was some kind of like hook here where you could put the map. You get what I'm saying? You could put the map on the hook, and like it'd be two hooks, right? Like it'd be like boom, boom, and then you could have the map like here in between them. You see what I mean? Or like yeah, just stuff like that. Just small ideas that could show what's being stored, what it's used for, you know? I don't think it's like rocket science. But yeah, that's something that I would probably add on here. As far as like proportions and being more stylized, I don't think I've ever really been a super stylized artist. Like I said before, when I was in this Discord, people were telling me like, what are you trying to make them like? And I was just like, oh, I'm just making stylized furniture, which is probably not the best way to explain what I was doing. But like what I really meant was like making furniture and furniture props and just playing with those shapes more, you know, like playing with the silhouettes more. And what this was interpreted as was like I'm trying to make some like borderline Sea of Thieves like skewed chest or something. Like for me, for some reason, I always, when I think stylized, I'm thinking more like I guess how I don't know, like the difference in I don't know. I don't think stylized is the proper word to use for this though. But you know, just playing with different shapes, making the furniture or the prop or whatever more interesting. You know. To look at. Rather than being like super basic and you know, just something I've seen before. You see, because like usually when you see people do stylized props, like I could open up Instagram or not Instagram. I'll use myself as an example here. And this is something I might actually go back to now that I'm thinking about it. But when I first applied to FCD, the entry test, right? We didn't do any props, but we did what the hell? I'm trying to see what is this? Alright, sorry guys. Right now I'm looking through a bunch of files trying to see if I can find something like my old entry test for FCD. I came across it one time before I was gonna like empty out my Google Drive. I was like, oh, that'd be interesting to talk about, okay, just usually when people do props, right? The first thing they come across, like the first kinds of things they end up designing, I swear to God, this has been used as an example, like, while I was in FZD for so long. But it usually will look like something like this, IKEA shit, like, stuff like this, right? And what I'm trying to do is take a simple idea like this and apply an aesthetic to it. So, like, instead of it being just this square with, you know, just pure function over form, or pure, yeah, function over form, slightly tune it towards being more of a balance between the two. So instead of it just being like this simple, I mean, of course, in design, you're not always going to be asked to do some stuff people have never seen before, right? But like, try to take it from being this pure, like, IKEA looking dresser that you have here, right? It's not to say this looks bad, but to try to take that idea and then make it into something like this, where it's a little bit more. I mean, to be fair, I don't know what the top part of this is supposed to be, but you know, just giving it a little bit of character. Oh wait, put this like that. Yeah, just giving it a little bit of character here. So it's like, I don't know what this would be, but you see what I mean? Like, I'd probably take this top part off. This is looking very like Korean-esque, or like something Korean furniture looking. See, and with this being a table, like, you probably have some kind of like long sides. I don't know what this shape would be. Maybe it could be like painting or something. And if it was painting, then it'd be interesting to have like that drawer over the painting or something. Like, I don't know. It's just playing with ideas like that. But usually when people think like furniture design or prop design, like, if you look on ArtStation or anything like that and just pit it to newest or more recent, you'll see a lot of this like surface level design. And what my goals were for this kind of, I don't know what the hell this is, but what my goals were for this project was to push that further and play with the different form changes and whatnot. Let me actually go back, and because I don't know what this there we go. Okay. Ah, it's still there. What the hell? I think I accidentally went into the film grain and like drew a line or something. What is that coming from? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, but now I have a space missing film grain. Where did that come from, man? Like, I don't even remember. Let me see. Bro. Okay, it's gone now. So yeah, that was basically my idea here. So like, when I was designing these, I was just thinking which one is breaking that square shape the most, and just trying to find an aesthetic that justifies breaking that, and then applying that same aesthetic time and time again over different props to see if I could do that like consistently. So yeah, that's basically what this was. So like, this is basically a tower, like a tower cabinet, right? So if I look up, this is literally what comes up if you look up a tower cabinet. You see what I mean? So it's just taking that same idea and, you know, applying some flavor to it, some kind of aesthetic. Yeah. Same thing here. This is probably one of my favorite pages. Just because of the like sheer, like, I feel like with these sketches, so this was like the original sketch, and you see how close it is to that like IKEA shape. So it doesn't matter how good you are if you don't sharpen that skill, if that's not something you're making a conscious effort to, you know, tackle. Of course, it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter if you went to FZD or fucking Harvard. Like, these are things that you have to be conscious of until you just don't have to be conscious about it anymore. And even then, you're still gonna probably want to push it past that that point. You're always, as an artist, you're always trying to get better, right? So like it's gonna be something that you're always trying to push. But yeah, so basically this page is my favorite because this just shows all of that like studying and practice in one page, kind of, in terms of exploring that different for those form changes, right? So IKEA wardrobe, is that a thing? Okay, so here we go again, right? This one's probably the best example. So we have a simple cabinet, and this is how like most of this furniture is gonna be, right? It's very simple, straight to the point. It doesn't waste any. Oh wait, let me make sure. Okay, yeah, it doesn't waste any energy trying to be fancy. It's a pure. I mean, the only space on this whole drawer is this area where you're gonna probably be looking the most. So it was a smart idea for them to add a little bit of kind of like a texture there, right? And then to break up the form, like to attract your attention to where the handles are, they put them gold, like gold colored. Same here, right? Holy shit. Hold on. I had to sneeze, man. I think I'm getting sick because, like, with my job, I've been going outside a lot more. Being a lot around a lot of, like, I'll talk about that later. But yeah, same idea here. And I took that idea from being, this being my initial one, and just kind of applying those same shapes across these sketches. And this is one of the cases where, like, I genuinely wanted to make each one of these. Like, I wanted to take the time to actually make them all. But I was like, okay, well, you're 100+ hours into this, like, probably should start wrapping it up. And at this point, like, I'm just like taking sketches from random sketch layers that I had and just slapping them into presentation, and then, like, at the end I got this idea to have like this little transparent looking map that you barely notice, but it just adds that kind of extra layer. Yeah, this is one of my favorite pages. I give this like a 9. Same here. So this is like the last one that I pretty much rendered, I guess. But yeah, same thing here. Like, just trying to take, the same shape. Let's try to find a different one so it's a little bit more. Oh. Yeah, so here you go. You see a cabinet here. Simple, very simple, right? And I just put it on top of a nightstand pretty much, and then just started playing with it. And again, like, these are the sketches that I was doing, just kind of playing with that shape to make it just more interesting. And definitely one of my favorite pages here. And then this is like the early stage where I had like the prop, and I had the like front view, back view, and then I had like a bunch of like little fun sketches around it that added a little bit more character. Yeah, so that's pretty much it, man. Like, this is how the project came out. I mean, this was originally going to be its own page, but I was just like, fuck it, I'll just put it in here. And like, this is exactly how this sketch was at the beginning. This is how the sketch came out. And I was still kind of like, you could tell I just didn't really have any. I was just slapping a bunch of random stuff on it, just hoping it looked nice, and then I just rendered over it, and I was just like, man, like, I don't know. Yeah. And this is where I started. So at this point, like, I was still thinking that this was gonna be a super small project. Like, I was thinking maybe in the 40-hour range, and I wasn't happy with what this was basically the end result after those 40 hours. I didn't do really much of any research. I had a lot of references, but I didn't exactly know what I was going to use those references for. So it just became like a mashed up, like, super complex. I think out of all of these, 4 and 5 may become the closest to like something that I would have probably been happy with, like fixing up and making into a design or something. But um, yeah, it just turned out it's just super tricky to work with. Like I just didn't. I was just energy was being burned like nothing else because I didn't have a clear goal and I was constantly questioning like my next steps. I didn't know why I was adding certain things to the tables or the drawers or whatever. Um, so yeah, like whenever I did like the next sketch, I didn't even know what I was trying to take from one to apply to two. That's just how it is. Same thing here. Just more of the chest. I just added color to them, like simple flats. So yeah, that was this project. Like I said, going forward, I really want to just I want to do some more cinematic shots and just I don't know, have fun with things. Like this project was a lot of just I don't know, like practice and studying. So this time around, I'd like to just do something for fun and just enjoy the process. I don't know, enjoy the process more. I'm thinking about doing some cinematic shots of like some. I don't know if any of you guys played RuneScape, but I have some ideas of like taking like the general store in Lumbridge and just making it into a cinematic shot somehow and see if anybody notices. You know what I mean? Like take that simple like here, let me see. I mean, I guess this is the like this is like the RuneScape 3, I guess, version of it. And this is the old school RuneScape version of it. So I was thinking like, I wonder if I could like take this, like, well, not this. I don't want to just like copy this shit and just make it look different. But I was thinking of like taking the interior and making it into a cinematic shot with like a bunch of like Easter eggs of items from the game. I thought that'd be. Oh wait, here, let me see. Here it is. So like this is like the RuneScape 3 version and the old school RuneScape version. And I was gonna try to find like a cinematic that I could put like the camera like in one of these corners. Generally speaking, like the general store is where you sell all your items. Like I mean, if you can't sell them to players, if you're like an Iron Man or something like that, you're gonna sell it to a general store or something, or High Elk the items. But usually, like as a noob, like on a high pop world or even free to play, honestly, you talk to the shopkeeper, especially in Varrock too. Varrock, the general store in there, like you go in there and then there's just always random shit that people just happen to sell to these like for just to get them out the bank. You know what I mean? So like it'd be fun to go and like see what kind of things I see and like put some Easter eggs in there or something like that. And I think that'd probably be like a quick like if I had to guess like a 40-ish hour thing, like a super small one. I thought that would be pretty fun to do, so I might still do that. I don't know. That's just throwing ideas out there, but yeah, I do want to have more cinematic shots similar to this one. I see so many things I would have done differently with this that I'm just ready for a round two. So in this case around, I just keep it low design and I just go for pure like atmospheric perspective and rendering and stuff like that. Oh wait, you can't even see. Yeah. So this one I just see so much I could change. So yeah, round two. Um yeah, lately I mean as far as personal things, I mean I started working at this moving company, I guess you could say, or like a junk company, and that includes, going to people's houses and getting all their junk out of there, which is probably why I'm a little sick. I don't know. It's probably something to do with that. So I'm basically working 4 days a week, doing like between usually in the range of 10 to 14 hour shifts, which is kind of crazy, but it gives me those extra 3 days to have to do jujitsu throughout the week and relax. So I'll take it, and then on top of that, man, the craziest, you see some of the craziest houses, man. Like if if you start with your partner and you guys have to go to like the suburbs, dude, you see some of the biggest houses and like people. You just it's fun and interesting seeing all these different environments. Shout out Evan, man. He kind of like got me off the fence about doing it because I was almost gonna stay at the cashier spot, but he's like, man, as a concept artist, like you want to have all that like that mental library, you know, and of all these different kinds of sets. Pretty much, if you like, for example, like whenever I go to these jobs and I'm in like my fucking uniform with my little hat on and stuff, and I'm listening to my sales lead like give his little slogan, dude, I'm just looking around the house like it's a movie set. Just like, man, that's a lot of. It's just as a concept artist, you're just looking at stuff like through a different lens, just like a photographer would, just like a painter would, or a fucking. It's like a cook looking at a table full of ingredients. You know what I mean? It's just a completely different lens. Um, in my case, I guess the ingredients are just literally everything in the room and how they're, you know, how they're displayed and shit. And then like you just my job is literally just, you know, we go in, we quote them for taking all the shit out and putting it on the truck and taking it, you know, wherever it needs to go. And that's pretty much it. So sometimes it's moving a fucking 300,000 pound couch up some stairs that shouldn't the couch should have never gotten down there in the first place, but somehow we have to get it out, you know, or just, you know, someone having a shit ton. Like there's literally one house I was in and their basement was so big they had a little wheelbarrow down there, right? I used that bitch to get all the trash and shit like to the stairs. Like I was using a wheelbarrow in their basement. Like their basement was the size of my apartment, like type shit. Like it was crazy, man. I said type shit again. But yeah, you get the experience like ranging from that, and then you also get to go to like O Block and like risk your life to get a couch out of a house. Like it's so crazy. Tips are nice. It's better pay, obviously, and I get to get a workout. So I mean, it's a net positive so far. The only thing is that I have to learn how to drive a truck. So the dump truck or whatever that we use, I have to learn how to drive that, which is coming along pretty well. Fingers crossed, knock on wood. And I had to take that bitch on the highway a couple times, which is crazy. And then like, yeah, they generally speaking, they want people to end up being like sales leads. So you end up being the guy with the junior that you're like taking around, and you go and, you know, pitch how much it's gonna cost to people. This is not my cup of tea. Like that's the one thing I probably don't want to do. But if it came down to it, I'd learn how to do it, obviously. The only reason I would ever consider it is because in the winter, apparently that's like the slowest time for this thing. So, they're like, yeah, you want to definitely be a sales lead before winter or by winter or around that time, because that's mostly going to be the only people with jobs. Is like all the junior people are pretty much going to be just running trucks or something like that, while the sales leads can go in pairs to houses and stuff, because there's not many jobs, so it's gonna be based off performance, all this shit. So I'm like, man, dude, maybe I just use that time to just you know, I save up my money that I make during this time, like during the summer and the spring and all that stuff, and then in the winter, like I probably have a couple shifts a week or something, and I just use that time to just double down. And I think that's not a bad plan. It's just a matter of being smart with the money, right? So yeah, that's pretty much my plan with that. What else? So yeah, and then I also, of course, have to apply more. But the thing is, like, I don't always record. Oh shit, my fucking screen went to sleep. I don't always record time wise when I'm looking for jobs. I try to make it like a spur of the moment thing. Like, okay, I wouldn't mind doing one job real quick. Let me just find something, and then like I find something that I feel like I could maybe work on, and then I just send the application out and just try to forget it. I'm getting a lot better with it though. I take a lot less mental dot from it. Like, dude, it's tricky, man. It's like it's not depressing, I would say, but like it's really tough, man, because it's like, imagine just having something that you've put so much work and effort into. Like, I mean, I'm pretty sure anyone can imagine that, right? But like, you've put so much effort into something, and like you know, yeah, like you know that if you were given a job, you could 90% of the time do it. You know, it's like it's not like I don't know, man. It's like not 90% of the time do it, but like I don't know. It's just it's tough because uh it's just such a big part of like your life, you know what I mean? And like you just like working this job, people are always like, "Oh, what'd you do before this?" or like, what do you cuz like when people ask me like, "Do you party? Do you drink? Do you smoke? Like, what do you do?" Like, and I'm just like, "Oh shit, like man, I just draw." like and then that usually like that leads to, you know, you don't want to try to explain it cuz you know they most people don't know what the fuck a concept artist is. It's just like that you guys probably know what I'm talking about, you know. So with that being just a large part, like it's like, well, I don't know. I almost have like nothing to show for it in a way, but it's I don't know. I guess it's just that time of life, right, where you're just figuring shit out, and but yeah, man. Sometimes I'm just like, fucking Jesus Christ, this is a really tough thing I've gotten myself into. I don't know how else to put it. But yeah, man, my neighbor decided to mow the lawn, so I'll see you guys. But yeah, just stay safe out there. Make sure you're taking care of your bodies, and yeah, drink water. All right, I'll see you guys. I'm not gonna do it. I was gonna do this like I always like fucking get close to the camera. I'll be like, and then like yeah. All right, I'll see you guys. I'm not gonna do it this time.